The 18th century is characterized as a period of political and economic change and transformation in India and the world. In many parts of the world, old monarchies were breaking down, paving the way for the emergence of a new political order. While the Ottoman and the Persian empires were struggling to survive, the old aristocratic order in Europe was dealt a blow by the French Revolution of 1789. In India, the Mughal imperial system witnessed a crisis. The Mughal Empire reached its zenith under the great Mughals, about whom we have read earlier. However, towards the closing years of the 17th century, it was beset by a number of problems. Central authority rapidly weakened and many of the provinces, both old and new, broke away, which reshaped the boundaries of the empire. The later Mughals. According to historians, the seeds of the crisis can be traced to the Mughal imperial system, with its emphasis on the powers of the emperor, reliance on powerful nobles or mansabdars who were given access to great resources, exploitative land revenue extraction, lack of a clear policy of succession, and the inability to fully secure the northwest frontier. Actually, all of these had been major strengths of the Mughal state in its early years under its powerful emperors. But after Aurangzeb's death in 1707, his successors, known as the later Mughals, were unable to hold the empire together. His sons, Bahadur Shah, Muhammad Azam, and Khan Bakhsh, were engaged in a war of succession. Bahadur Shah emerged victorious and ascended the throne in 1707. However, his reign was short-lived and he was succeeded by Jahandar Shah in 1712. Often, all revenue, political and military administration came to be concentrated in the hands of a few nobles or mansabdars, giving them extraordinary powers over the regions of the Mughal Empire. The three pillars of the Mughal state, land revenue, law and order, and military administration, quietly passed into the hands of the powerful nobles. The Sayyid brothers, Hussain Ali and Abdullah, who held the posts of Wazir and Mir Bakshi, became quite powerful and were known as kingmakers. They installed Farrukh Siyar, 1713-19, as the Mughal emperor. However, the latter was murdered when he tried to assert his independence. After Farrukh Siyar's death, Muhammad Shah, the nephew of Bahadur Shah I, succeeded in getting rid of the Sayyid brothers. However, Muhammad Shah proved to be an ineffective ruler. In 1739, Nadir Shah's plunder of Delhi rang the death knell of the empire. He carried away enormous wealth, including the Kohinoor diamond and the Peacock throne. Soon after, Shah Alam II was appointed the Mughal ruler. Around this time, the European trading companies also began occupying territories in India. The English East India Company had established forts at Bombay, Calcutta, and Madras. In order to curb the growing power of the English, Shah Alam II formed an alliance with Mir Qasim, the Nawab of Bengal, and Shujauddaulah, the Nawab of Awadh. They fought the Battle of Buxar against the English on 22nd October 1764. However, the battle resulted in the defeat of the Mughal alliance and the surrender of Diwani, or the right of revenue collection of Bihar, Bengal, and Odisha, to the English. Therefore, the battle secured a stronger foothold for the English in the country, while delivering a blow to the prestige of the Mughal Empire. Bahadur Shah suffered. The last Mughal ruler supported the rebels who participated in the revolts of 1857. After the failure of the revolt, he was exiled to Rangoon, now Yangon, the present-day capital of Myanmar, where he died in 1862. His sons were killed by the British, thus bringing an inglorious end to the legendary Mughal Empire. Reasons for the decline of the Mughal Empire. Aurangzeb is remembered as the last great Mughal emperor in the medieval Indian history. He was a strict ruler and expanded the empire. He was also one of the wealthiest Mughal emperors, yet he was unable to hold together diverse sections of the population and involve them in the process of governance. His policy of annexation also proved futile, while depleting the military and financial resources of the empire. Moreover, the Mansabdari system had lost its importance since the powers of the Mansabdars and Subedars went unchecked. The collection of revenue from the provinces became uneven as the center was unable to control the regularity of the process. Aurangzeb's strict political policies also angered the Sikhs, Rajputs, the Jats, and the Marathas, who rose in revolt and shattered the stability of the Mughal Empire. Inefficient successors of Aurangzeb, stagnation in intellectual and military spheres, and lack of advancement in military equipment further contributed to the decline of the empire. Regional powers, the Rajputs. Aurangzeb's death saw the rise of many independent kingdoms in the Indian subcontinent. The Rajputs were one such ruling dynasty. Savai Raja Jai Singh, 1681 to 1743 CE of Amber, is remembered as one of the prominent Rajput rulers. He founded Jaipur, one of the finest planned cities of India and the capital of the present-day state of Rajasthan. The city of Jaipur is based on the principles of Shilpa Shastra, or the Indian principles of Vedic planning. It is known as the Pink City since most of the buildings in the city are painted in the color pink. The city followed a grid plan with the main streets intersecting the secondary streets at right angles. An accomplished astronomer, Savai Jai Singh also built astronomical observatories with highly sophisticated instruments in Jaipur, Delhi, Ujjain, Mathura and Benares. Constant infighting amongst the Rajputs, their inability to organize themselves as a cohesive unit as well as subjugation by the Marathas led to the decline of the Rajputs. The Sikhs. In the early years of the Mughal dynasty, the Sikh gurus shared a cordial relationship with Mughal rulers like Akbar. Under Aurangzeb, however, the Sikhs rose in revolt as a result of the Mughal emperor's rigid policies. Guru Tegh Bahadur, the ninth Sikh Guru, refused to accept Aurangzeb's repressive measures, resulting in his execution in 1675. This turned the Sikhs completely against the Mughals. After the execution of Guru Tegh Bahadur, Guru Gobind Singh, 1666 to 1708 CE, succeeded him as the 10th Sikh Guru. He organized the Sikhs into the Khalsa, or a military brotherhood, and fought against the Mughals and the neighboring hill states. However, the Sikhs were defeated by the Mughals. Although Guru Gobind Singh was unable to withstand the might of the Mughals, he established the Khalsa and put into place the instrument for its realization. During the reign of Bahadur Shah I, the Sikhs emerged as a powerful group under the leadership of Banda Bahadur, who fought the Mughals for 8 years. After his death, the Sikhs organized themselves into 12 miles or confederacies, wherein each controlled different cities and towns. After the invasion of Nadir Shah, the Sikhs further established their control over Jammu. Maharaja Ranjit Singh organized these miles into a single force, seizing Lahore in 1799 and Amritsar in 1802. Ranjit Singh established one of the strongest kingdoms of the period. Thereafter, he added Peshawar, Multan and Kashmir as part of his empire. Described by historians as a remarkable and able ruler, he also set up an efficient administrative system for the Sikh state, Awadh. The decline of the Mughal authority resulted in the emergence of Awadh as an independent state comprising the regions around Lucknow, Kanpur, Benares and some areas near Allahabad. Awadh had rich agricultural resources and controlled the trade between Bengal and North India. The first Nawab of Awadh was Burhanul Mulk Sadat Khan, a Mughal noble who was appointed to the position as a reward for helping Mughal Emperor Muhammad Shah overthrow the Sayyid brothers. He managed the political, financial and military affairs of Awadh and was succeeded by his son-in-law Safdar Jung, under whose reign the state of Awadh extended up to Rohilkhand. The rulers of Awadh succeeded in establishing peace and justice, curbing lawlessness, improving the revenues of the state, and organizing a powerful military force. They also extended royal patronage to the growth of art and literature. In the 19th century, however, the constant interference of the British led to a decrease in the authority and power of the Nawabs of Awadh. Hyderabad. Nizam-ul-Mulk Asaf Jah, also known as Chinkilich Khan, was a powerful Mughal noble in the court of Farrukh Siyar and Muhammad Shah. Initially, he was entrusted with the governorship of Awadh and later given charge of the Deccan in 1722 CE. As a Mughal Subedar, all financial and military powers were concentrated in his hands. He was responsible for managing the executive and judicial departments. The title of Nizam-ul-Mulk was conferred upon him by Farrukh Siyar. Thereafter, with the decline of Mughal authority, he established an independent state of Hyderabad in 1724 CE. He founded the Asaf Jahi dynasty, and his successors, known as the Nizams, set up an efficient system of administration and brought the rebellions, zamindars, under their control. They also tackled the growing power of the Marathas. Bengal. The Nawabs of Bengal were initially appointed as governors of the region. Taking advantage of the political instability at the Mughal court, they became de facto rulers. The Mughal Emperor Farrukh Siyar appointed Murshid Quli Khan as the governor of Bengal in 1717 CE. Later, Murshid Quli Khan declared his independence and shifted his capital from Dhaka to Murshidabad. He was succeeded by Shujauddin 1727 to 39 CE and Alivardi Khan 1740 to 56 CE. The Nawabs of Bengal took a number of steps to establish a system, efficient administration in order to effectively tackle corrupt and inefficient officials, encourage the growth of agriculture, trade and industry, and regularize collection of revenue. They also tried to check the rising power of the English East India Company, but were unsuccessful, resulting in their defeat at the Battle of Plassey in 1757 CE. Mysore. Hyder Ali established the independent kingdom of Mysore in 1761 CE, after taking over power from the ruler of Mysore, Nanjaraja Voldeyar. He won many battles against the Marathas, the Nizams of Hyderabad, as well as the British. An able administrator, he was able to rise above distinctions of caste and creed, and also encouraged trade and crafts. Tipu Sultan, 1782 to 99 CE, who succeeded his father Hyder Ali, fought 2 wars against the British, thus offering them stiff resistance. He was instrumental in modernizing the military by employing Western techniques, promoting international trade with France, Turkey, Iran, China, and Russia, and setting up modern industries. He designed models of ships, built 2 dockyards, introduced new coinage, and even a calendar. Inspired by the French Revolution, Tipu Sultan planted a tree of liberty at his capital, Seringapatam. Western techniques of warfare were employed during his reign. He fought 2 wars against the British and died heroically defending his kingdom, which also brought an end to the state of Mysore as an independent kingdom. The Marathas, a group of people who were successful in carving out a powerful regional kingdom through prolonged and sustained opposition to the Mughals, were the Marathas. The Maratha story began with Shivaji, the son of an official at the court of Bijapur, Shahji Bhosle. Shivaji was able to garner support from the locally powerful warrior elites known as Deshmukhs. Shivaji, born in 1627 CE, Shivaji, under the guardianship of Dadaji Kondadeva, grew adept in the art of administration and guerrilla warfare. Shivaji earned his first military success at the age of 16 when he seized the fort of Torana, followed by the forts at Kondana and Raigarh. The conquest of the Jauli kingdom made him supreme in the Mavala region, thus paving the way for further conquests in the Konkan region. Shivaji's successful military strategy helped him successfully deal with the Mughals. He bypassed their main forts and made swift attacks on Mughal cities and supply lines. He assumed the title of Chhatrapati, sovereign king, after formally declaring himself king in 1674 CE in a ceremony at Raigarh. Successors of Shivaji. Shivaji's son Sambhaji succeeded him after the former's death. However, Sambhaji was defeated and killed by the Mughals. The weak successors of Shivaji were unable to hold the Maratha kingdom for long, and gradually effective power passed into the hands of the Peshwas 1713 to 1818 CE. Under the first three Peshwas, the Maratha Empire gradually strengthened the retained power. Balaji Vishwanath, 1713 to 20 CE, the first Peshwa, was an expert administrator, and under him the office of Peshwa became hereditary. Bajirao first succeeded his father Balaji Vishwanath and pursued an ambitious expansionist policy. He brought Gujarat under the control of Marathas along with Malwa and Bundelkhand, and also defeated the Nizam of Hyderabad. Bassein and Salsette were captured from the Portuguese. Under Balaji Bajirao, the Maratha kingdom reached its greatest extent, wherein both Delhi and Punjab were captured in the years 1753 and 1758 respectively. The period under study also saw the rise of powerful Maratha families like the Bhosle, Gaikwad, Scindia and Holkar. The Mughals entered into a treaty with the Marathas by which the latter agreed to defend the Mughal Empire from further invasions by Ahmad Shah Abdali, and in return, the Mughals granted them the right to collect taxes like Chauth and Sardesh Mukhi from many areas. The growth of the Maratha Empire induced a certain degree of anxiety amongst the Sikhs, Rajputs, the rulers of Hyderabad, Bengal, etc. Therefore, when the Marathas clashed with Ahmad Shah Abdali in the Third Battle of Panipat in 1761 CE, none of these powers extended military aid to them, resulting in the beginning of the decline of the Marathas. Peasant rebellions. During the reign of the later Mughals, as the governors consolidated their control over the province, the periodic remission of revenue to the centre declined. These governors increased the taxes on peasants and the zamindars that started rebelling against the Mughals. The land revenue administration had already been exploitative. Now, lack of centralized supervision meant a greater burden on the peasants and the local landed elites. Thus, peasant and zamindar rebellions in many parts of northern and western India added to the problems of the later Mughals. As a result, local political elites were able to seize the resources of the region and use them to consolidate their own position.